Other interesting political news, you have Chris Christie saying he's a fighter and getting ratioed in seconds. Now, this was on Twitter, also known as X, and it is where he's with Mr. Cuomo. It's a minute 23, and yeah, it got ratioed and eviscerated in mere seconds. And geez Louise, his chins are really not showing good in this video.
No,
he needs a personal assistant or someone in wardrobe to get something that fits him better.
no one ever has questioned whether I'm a fighter. No one's ever questioned whether I'm willing to stand up for the things we believe in. There's a difference
I think many people question his physical capabilities of standing up. I don't think that's true.
between fighting to get something done and fighting just for the sake of fighting. And in this instance, what I'm going to do is exactly what I did in New Jersey, is stand up. I fought the teachers union in New Jersey, Chris, and you were there and saw it. When no one was willing to fight the teachers unions, I stood up and fought them and brought more charter schools and more Renaissance schools to my state than any governor in the state's history.
Also a good example of, I might not agree with a lot of things politicians do, but more often than not, all the times, sometimes you may be able to find one good thing from every politician. So I have to admit, that was a good accomplishment. I will give him credit in that regard. He should use that more in his advertising for his campaign, I believe.
I stood up and fought against those forces in my state who thought you couldn't cut spending and you couldn't cut taxes. And we did it. And we did it with a Democratic legislature. We reformed the pension system with Democratic help because we made the case to the public that our policies were right. This is not about capitulation. This is about having someone who knows how to use the levers of power and the bully pulpit to be able to get results.
God, he is not photogenic.
People are tired of rhetoric with no results. I am the guy
You can see his three chins every time he's talking.
who can bring results. I've done it before in one of the bluest states in this country, and I will do it again when I'm president of the United States. No one is ever going to think that Chris Christie isn't a fighter.
This is a great example of someone who would be really good on radio. What he's saying is quite good, especially when you look at the Republican Party and what a lot of the people believe in. That resonates with many people. A lot of people see the issues with the unions being paid exponentially, but tax scores for children going down exponentially as well. So I think what he's saying is good, but it is certainly not photogenic. And politically speaking, he's getting a lot of support from the Never Trumpers. There's many areas of the Republican Party, many routes. He's chosen to attack Trump because there is a not insignificant part of the Republican Party who does not like Trump. And now he's their only option in terms of those people. If they want to vote for someone in the primary, he's their person. That's what he's running on really right now. But it is fascinating. You see this with Ted Cruz. They have, just like you have Chris Christie, they have a lot of support, but on social media, it is fascinating. Like, they're just not, you don't see their support there. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I did a lot of scrolling for this analysis. Now, that little clip there got five, and again, we compare this to Vivek. I was talking about that earlier in this episode. He got 3.2 million. Within a couple days, he got to 3.5 million views on a video. And his average video, I'd say, gets between 200 and 300,000 hits for Vivek. Christie, and again, they have different audiences. That's something to take into consideration. But Christie's getting that video, and again, this is all statistics taken. Let me double check my notes really quick. They're all statistics taken after 24 hours. So all these numbers were taken, video came out, 24 hours, took all the statistics down. Now, this video got 52,500 views. Again, this is a major public, it's not major. He's a public official who's been around for quite some time. Again, he needs his team needs to be working more on social media because that is a huge market to capture when it comes to politics. So you got 52,500 views and 1,661 likes. So not terrible. It's actually a good ratio. It's 3.18% like ratio. That's actually pretty good. But the views are so small. And again, it's not to toot my own horn out. I think it got 600 views. That was like one of his most popular responses on the Twitter sphere. But comparing him to his competition for Republican primary nominees, that's really not good. And the responses were pretty much all bad. Now, I looked at the responses. I scrolled. The first 27 responses, every single one of them was negative. The first 27. The 28th comment, and I had to scroll. not to self-sacrifice, but that was an exercise right there. Now, looks like the 28th comment was a guy saying, I love the blue and I predict that Chris Christie's numbers will gradually improve. Which, again, that's a good comment, saying he thinks the guy's upward trajectory, probably. That's what he's saying. I got 51 views and 2 likes. 2! That's almost seemingly impossible. Now, the more popular, much more popular entertaining responses, one came from Tony Ballard. He said, quote, undisputed donut king, unquote. He got 495 views and 23 likes, giving him a ratio of 4.64%. Now, you also had someone by the username of Rise Up, and this person said, quote, the interview makes Christie and Chris look like clowns, unquote. Now, this person was kind enough to actually respond in a meme where it actually did little clown pictures on them, or little hat and nose. Not much makeup is needed. Now, he got 286 views and 23 likes, giving him an 8.04% like ratio. Quite impressive. Now, another one said, this is from SMD, this person said, quote, drop out now. Your campaign is futile, unquote. That got 589 views and 43 likes, giving the ratio of 7.3%. So I told you the one positive review after the 27th comment, so the 28th one was good. And then I scrolled down, the next 23 were subsequently, or 22 more subsequently, they were all negative. Every single one of them. So politically speaking, is fascinating. And again, there are different age demographics of people who use social media, and maybe people who are more elderly or don't have a Twitter, maybe those are his main constituents or the main people who are currently voting for him in these primary campaigns. But it's fascinating to see one of the first 50 comments were positive for Chris Christie. I mean, that is a social media, maybe that'll be a new category on the show, a social media blunder. That is certainly worthy of a award, because that is certainly, maybe we'll have a political blunder of the day. Let me know in the comments if you think that'd be a good idea, but that is abysmal to say the least. And I can't help but think, maybe, again, like last time, maybe he's just going for a cabinet position, but we'll see. Maybe he'll gain some steam. My 3 cents, I don't think he's going to gain enough steam or gain enough votes from the community he's currently catering towards with this campaign. But we'll always see, as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in again. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. I know it's a tall order, but if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback is greatly appreciated, especially the critical feedback, as I try to make the show better and better, and as well as try to improve myself more and more to make the show an experience more pleasurable for the user and the fans. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.